everyone, and welcome once again to Pacer Sports Live, shot on location at Mellow Mushroom in downtown Aiken, South Carolina in the Alley. We'd like to say a thank you to them for letting us be here. And I'd like to introduce my panel, as always, Coach Mark Miller, Coach Mark Vanderslice, and Coach Kenny Thomas. How are you guys doing tonight?
We're doing
great.
Good. Thank you.
Awesome. Excellent. And so just briefly before we get into anything, we'd like to go ahead and introduce our trivia question for the night. Of course, if you're here on location at Mellow Mushroom, you can fill out one of these fancy slips, or you can, do it online on Twitter. I believe we also do it on Facebook. I'm not 100% sure on that, but definitely on Twitter. So the question for the week was, which student athlete, USC Aiken student athlete, was recently named Athlete of the Week by the Peach Belt Conference? And so we'll have the answer for that and the winner of the contest later on in the episode. But for now, we're going to go ahead and get into the recap segment. So, Coach Miller, give us a little bit of a recap since last episode and let us know how the team's doing.
Well, we had a good win against Georgia Southwestern a couple weeks ago. We played really hard again at Pembroke and had some chances there. And, we made some progress in our team working hard and getting better. And then Saturday against Lander, they were ready to go. For them, their win against us moved them to the top of the conference. They played really good, and we struggled on Saturday. And the good thing about it, we got a big rival game on Wednesday, so that'll get us going. So we had a good practice tonight to get us going for Wednesday. So we're still making baby steps, maybe not as fast as a head coach would like, but we keep grinding. We got 2 left, and we'll be ready to go for those 2.
Okay, and so let's go ahead and talk about that rivalry game a little bit. It's in Augusta. So tell us about what you're gonna have to do to go into Augusta, the field house, and get a win down there.
Well, first of all, it's always a fun atmosphere. Our kids will be ready to play. Both teams will be ready to play. So it's a great atmosphere to go. And for us, we gotta play hard. We gotta rebound the basketball. We're not going to be very big. Star is holding her own on the rebounding issue, and we get a little bit of help from everybody else. But so we're going to have to do a good job rebounding. And for us, the thing that's been the problem for us a lot this year is making shots. We've been getting good shots, and we just got to have some confidence and keep going after it and making shots. We got to have some, 2 or 3 people scoring double figures. We got to play great defense, and we got to take care of the basketball, night in and night out to have a chance to win.
Okay, and so let's talk about players like Kyrie Chandler and Star Toomey. They've really come into their own here as Pacers, and how excited are you to see what they can do again next season?
Well, they've had 2 really good years and in a tough position. Star came in, with coming in with the idea that she's going to give us some depth, and all of a sudden now Star's playing 35 minutes a game. I'm asking her to guard the best post player on the other team night in and night out. She's our best rebounder. She has been our all year, and she's been our best defender, really. And she continues to get better offensively. Still very raw, but her work ethic, her attitude, her coachability are great. So that's going to take her a long way. And Kyrie, she's a kid that's coming in with a lot of experience, coming from High Point, and has just had a really steady season for us and knows her role, and she has to do a lot for us, especially on the offensive end. But she's really had a really good year and a steady year for us. And, we're looking, to put some, another 2 good games together for her. And, she's been our rock, and she's been steady. So I'm really pleased with their effort. They're coachable. They work hard every night. They're not a problem. They just do the right thing. So, pretty excited about both of them.
All right. Thank you so much, Coach.
Thanks.
We'll go ahead and move on to Coach Vanderslice. You guys picked up a big win against Lander the other night. Talk to us about that and give us a little bit of an update on your team as well.
Well, we won 3 out of the last 4. We beat GSW in Columbus, caught a little bit of momentum going into the UNC Pembroke game. Had a tough stretch against UNC Pembroke. Didn't play bad, played hard, played well together. But UNCP is a good team, and they outlasted us there at the tail end of the game at their place. But we came back, we shook it off, and ended up having a pretty outstanding performance against Lander. We won by 37. One of those games where just nothing seems to go wrong. Making shots, playing well, sharing the ball. And we were pretty darn hard to guard when we were sharing the rock as much as we were that game. Moving it, passing it, cutting. And 37 points is hard to do in the Peach Belt. Whether you're home or away, it's just tough to do. So I think we're catching a little bit of momentum at the tail end of the year. Hopefully we're peaking at the right time. We've been a moody basketball team this year. We We've had some peaks and some valleys and some ebbs and flows, but hopefully at the end of the year, we're catching our stride. And I've been proud of our guys up to this point.
Awesome. And so, apart from, pick up 2 wins, what are you really looking to accomplish in these last 2 games of the season to really, give yourself that momentum going into the postseason?
Well, the bottom line is we're in a no-lose situation if we want to have any opportunity to make the NCAA tournament. I mean, obviously you want to take it one game at a time, but the big picture is we want to fight and grind to put ourselves in a position to have that opportunity. Playing Augusta, and we can't move past and think past Augusta, but at the end of the day, that's our next war in front of us. And we have to play hard and fight and grind. And bottom line is we got to win. And we're going into enemy territory. And when you go over a scout against a team like Augusta, who's a rival, a lot of scouting report goes out of the window. 9 times out of 10, you execute a good scouting report, it carries weight. But against a team like Augusta, and for them against us, there's so many variables that come into play against a rival team. Guys that average 2 points will have 15. I mean, that never happens. When we played against Augusta at home, a guy that averaged 3.5 points and 2 rebounds dropped 15 and 4 on us. And so I don't expect that to change when we play at their place. Somebody's going to come up big for us, and somebody's going to come up big for them. We just got to make sure at the end of the day we execute on the defensive and offensive end a little bit more effectively.
And speaking of, coming up big for the Pacers, let's talk about 2 guys who've really had breakout seasons this year, Rob Hill and Faison Brock. Their sophomore seasons, respectively. They're doing really well for you, and how do you think that they're going to continue to grow as players, and how do you think they can improve themselves?
Well, I'll improvise off that question. I'll expand and say, hey, the reason why they're getting better is one word only. It's called coachability. That is a forgotten, lost word that not many people give a lot of credit to. When you're coachable, that means you're listening. And when you're listening, you're able to receive the information that the coach is giving you to help you develop to go to the next level. And those 2 have really just been a delight to coach. They listen to everything you say, good, bad, and indifferent. They're always receiving constructive criticism. And those are the type of guys that just get better over the course of the year. And you mentioned 2 sophomores that are now probably averaging 28, 29, 30 minutes a game on any given night. And I don't expect that to change in the future because they continue to keep doing what we ask.
All right. Thank you so much, Coach. And we'll finish up with you now, Coach Thomas. Give us an update on your team. Let us know how they've done since the last episode.
Well, I think when we were here last time, we were going to play Shepherd that weekend. Played a good Shepherd team. Won the first 2 games and then kind of didn't play very well on the 3rd game of the series. And, it was just one of those days. Everything went against us, and we just couldn't put anything together. And then we go to a very good, undefeated 7-0 Wingate team on the road, our first road game. And, wow, we played extremely well there. We pitched unbelievably well. We had some timely hitting, swung the bat, played defense, and really had a complete game. And then, of course, come home to the big series this weekend with Mount Olive. And about as simple as I can put it, we played 15 innings of flawless baseball. The first opening night, we win 3-0. We played extremely well on Friday night. Then we come out Saturday, we're up 10-2 in the 5th inning, and play really well. We're up 8 runs in the 6th, and then all of a sudden it goes haywire. And we lose on Saturday, and then yesterday we didn't play very well again. So basically what we did is played 15 really good innings and 12 really bad ones. And that's something that I've talked to the team about. We can't be feast or famine. We can be as good as anybody I've ever seen at times. And then we can be as bad as anybody I've ever seen at times. And that's kind of strange because it's not game by game. It can be 4 or 5 innings of unbelievable baseball, and then next 3 innings just terrible. And we've got to quit that. And if somebody had said, hey, y'all going to be 6-4 after 10, would you believe that? No. Would our players believe that? No. Would most people in the community believe that? No. Now, we've played an unbelievable tough schedule. We haven't played anybody yet that wasn't in the NCAA tournament last year. So we've played really good teams, but it's really not about who we've played, it's how we've played. And it's been kind of hard to understand. I mean, we've had some guys that's performed really well, and then we've had some guys that we're counting on that haven't performed well, and it's about performance. yesterday, heck, I mean, we know after what happened to us Saturday where we totally collapsed the last 3 innings of the game. You got an 8-run lead going into the last 3 innings of the game and you lose by a lot. We knew yesterday was going to be a mental check for us. It's going to be tough to come back the next day mentally after what happened to us on Saturday, and we didn't handle that very well. And, you know, we had some tough breaks. Go back and look, a routine fly ball that we will catch 4,999 times out of 5,000. It's a routine fly ball. We will catch that ball, and we miss it. Hits us in the face. We lose our 3-hole hitter in the second inning. It cost us 5 runs. I think we lost by 5. Would that happen again? No. I mean, there's no explanation for that. I mean, there was no sun. He just missed the ball. I mean, you know, it was that 1 out of 5,000 times that you miss a fly ball. And so we've had some rough breaks, but we haven't handled them well. And that's very concerning. We got some big-time arms over there in the bullpen that haven't pitched well. And, you know, they got to be better. They got to be better. So we got Francis Marion this weekend. I don't think they like us very well. So I think that's going to be a real challenging series for us, Friday night, Saturday, and Sunday. So we're excited about it. We took the day off. I looked out there today, and there's 15, 20 players at a time working out on their own today. So that's a good thing. That showed me a lot about our team today. Guys out there got the balls out on their own, and got some bats out, and we're working. So I don't think it's a lack of effort. I think it's a lack of mentality, and we have to be better than what we are. And, you know, around here, there is expectations for Pacer baseball, you know, and you better understand that. You better realize that, and you better understand that. And you will be held accountable for it. So you have to perform. You have to play, and you have to be mentally strong. And that's just part of what we do. So we're working on it daily. I think we're going to be fine. I think this is a team that can go a long way. Once we figure out the difference between when we're playing flawless and the difference between when we're playing terrible. And I'm a fact guy. I'm a guy that goes by facts. I say like it is. You know, if you stink, you stink. You know, and I will tell you that because there's no in-betweens. You're either doing what you're supposed to do or you're not. And so I kind of told some of them yesterday, guys, you stink. You stink. You got to get better. You got to play better than what you're playing for us to be successful. So I think they will. I'm really excited about this weekend. I think we're going to come out in the rivalry series and hopefully play extremely well like we're capable of.
All right. Thank you so much, Coach. And so we're going to take a brief break, and when we come back, we're going to introduce one of our special guests. And after that, we're going to have a pretty heated debate topic tonight in our Outside of USC Aiken Sports segment. So we'll be right back after this.
How did softball and baseball teams fare this past weekend? Did women's and men's basketball bounce back? Find out on this episode of Pacer Minute.
There's no reason to prove.
USC Aiken baseball had a road match in a 3-game series last week facing both Wingate and Mount Olive. The squad went 2-2 across all 4 games, bringing them 6-4 on the season. Joey Smithers continues to stand out at the plate, batting over a 400 and leading the team in hitting, while Zach Rayfuse is dominating on the mound with an ERA of 0, a 2-0 record, and 17 strikeouts. The Pacers are gearing up for this weekend's series against Francis Marion starting Friday night at 7 p.m. Softball dropped 3 of 4 games on the week by a mere combination of 4 runs. The team heads to Erskine and Catawba in the pair of tough non-conference region games this week. Hannah Price continues to be one of the top performers in the PBC with a .474 batting average and a .632 slugging percentage. The men's basketball team went 2-1 last week, picking up a home wins over Columbus State and Lander. Robert Hill had a monster week, recording a pair of double-double efforts, including an 18-rebound performance at UNC Pembroke. USC Aiken travels to Augusta University tonight and closes out the regular season Saturday at home against Young Harris. The women's basketball team dropped both hard-fought contests this week. Kyrie Chandler led the team in scoring in both outings, while Star Toomey topped the defense, leading the team in blocks in both games. The men's tennis team has won 3 straight games and will put that streak on the line at Queens on Friday before opening league play at Flagler Sunday. Vincente Andreas leads the way with a 3-1 record, with each win coming at number 3 in singles. The squad has defeated each Division II opponent this season. The women's tennis team picked up a win over Anderson over the weekend. The Pacers have won 4 straight contests. The team looks to continue the run today when they play at Erskine at 2 p.m. The team plays at Queens Friday before traveling to Flagler Sunday. 4 Pacers tied to lead the way with a 4-1 singles record each. That wraps up the latest Pacer Minute. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe to keep up with all the latest Pacer news.
Welcome back, everyone, to Pacers Sports Live, and we're going to go ahead and introduce our special guest at this time, the chair of the communication department, Dr. Charmaine Wilson. Dr. Wilson, how are you doing tonight?
I'm great, and I'm really honored that you all have invited me and are letting me participate in this esteemed bunch of people.
We'll
Well,
see
at least
most of
2 of
you.
us.
We'll
at
see
least
if you
2
still
of us
feel that
down
way.
there.
She's going to go
People tend to not feel that way after they've been here, but we'll
Ask
see.
Dan Robb. Ask Dan Robb how it worked out.
He'll let you know how it goes sometimes.
Fair enough.
So we'd like to start off things just by asking you, how did you end up at USC Aiken?
Well, I'll give you the Reader's Digest condensed version
That's
because
fine.
it's actually kind of a long story. It was 28 years ago, and we moved here with my husband's job. I didn't have a job. I didn't want to be back in higher ed. I had said no more higher education for me because I'd had a bad experience at a big university. So I was really just looking to see if I could find someone to have lunch with once in a while. I picked up a USCA bulletin. I went to the departments, found we had a speech program back then. And one of the folks went to Purdue where she got her PhD. I thought, I went to Purdue for my master's. I'm calling her up just to see if I can make a friend in this little town. And she said, wow, this is fortuitous because we're advertising for a faculty member in our department. Why don't you come in and we'll talk and maybe bring your Vita? And I didn't even know they were looking. I wasn't looking. It was an accident. It was a very happy accident.
I appreciate the Bob Ross reference there. I'm a big fan of Bob Ross myself. So one of the questions we want to ask you tonight is what are some of the ways you feel that the USC Aiken Communication Department and athletics complement each other?
Ooh.
Like how do they work hand in hand?
Yeah. I think in a lot of ways, we've sat down with recruits for different teams and talked to them and their parents. So we help recruit athletes sometimes, and not just ones who want to be comm majors at times. It's even been other majors, but the coaches seem to think we're okay over in that department. We have a lot of students who are student athletes who are comm majors. It's a great choice for someone who wants, to go into just about anything. But a lot of athletes want to go into coaching, sports information, broadcast, marketing, and comm is a great major for those folks. But I would be remiss if I didn't talk about a really fantastic relationship with the Sports Information Office. I think we have a great synergy. Brent is happy to have interns, and he takes 4 or 5, maybe 6 interns a semester sometimes. So our students, whether or not they are interested in athletics, get this opportunity to learn about running the camera, sports writing, video editing, video making, interviewing, just about everything. So our students just get this fantastic opportunity while the athletics department gets the benefit of a lot of extra energetic, hopefully, and relatively talented, albeit green, folks to come and work with them.
Absolutely. And so I want to ask you, how do you feel personally about the athletics here at USC Aiken?
Wow.
Wow, I know, I'm speechless.
Watch it. There's a panel
Sensation.
sitting here.
I know. I don't want someone kicking me under
Watch
the
it.
table.
Watch it.
I would say we're pretty big supporters. I love going to the games. Although, sorry, Coach, it's harder for me to watch baseball. I didn't
Nothing
grow
wrong with
up watching baseball, so it's a little bit harder.
Are you American?
Yeah.
American's
Well,
pastime.
but I grew up in Montana, so that may not count.
American's pastime. Oh, you were in Montana.
Yeah,
No, that don't count.
that may not count.
If it's above Virginia, I believe it's
Yeah, I don't
Canada or something like that.
Yeah, it was so close. I don't. Yeah. You'd think I was really a big ice hockey fan, but I don't
I
know
like
that
hockey.
either. But we love going to the men's and women's basketball games. I like going to the softball team. I try once in a while to watch soccer. I never played. I have no idea what the rules are.
Nobody else does either.
Yeah, you just watch. They just kick the ball. Volleyball's a lot of fun to watch. So I really love our sports. I think being in the Peach Belt is pretty cool because it's such a competitive conference. When our folks do well, you know that they really are first-rate teams. Because I think as Division II goes, Peach Belt's just about as tough as it gets. But what do I know?
We like to think you know a lot.
She's from Montana.
Exactly.
Good one, Coach.
And so recently we had our faculty staff appreciation night. Tell us about how you feel about that and how you feel about being honored during that proceeding as well.
It's totally a highlight of the whole year. You get this email, and I'm very blessed. I have been honored. I have all the buttons. I have a row of buttons that's like this. I have been honored year after year, and so it's just such an honor, literally, to have students step up and appreciate us. But it's, that's selfish sounding, and I think what's especially cool about that program is a lot of people who don't very often have the opportunity to get appreciated or get accolades. Our students call them out as somebody who's really been important in their time at USC-Aiken. And I think if you look around that room, this year there were like 48, I think, seniors honoring 48 faculty and staff. And the room just seemed to me to be full of pride and good feelings. And I think it's really nice. Plus, we get a free T-shirt.
And that's the best part of it.
Like you don't have enough gear. You need another T-shirt
Right.
to kind of go with
Yeah,
the wardrobe.
definitely another USC.
Now, how many years have you been here?
27.
And you've been honored how many times in a row?
I don't remember the first year Angie Osmond started the program, but honestly, pretty much as far as I can think back.
I've been here 19
selected.
years. I ain't been honored once.
Faculty member.
A couple of your
Gotta be a faculty
assistant
member.
coaches were actually honored that
Boy,
night
that
as well.
tells me something, don't it?
Can I brag on my department a
Absolutely.
little bit, too?
Please do.
A little plug.
This year, in communication, we have 6 full-time faculty, and 5 of our faculty were honored by student athletes, and the 6th person is brand new. He's only been here a semester, so that just made me feel great about what we do and how much we connect with our students. We work hard to do that, I think, and made us really happy.
That's excellent. And so now at this point, I'd like to open the floor for any of the coaches to ask Dr. Wilson some questions.
Man, that was not in the plan.
Well, mine is more of a statement. I've only been here for 3 years, and you've been chosen for however long Angie's been dedicating the Faculty Staff Appreciation Day, but you guys are personally vested with the athletes within the program, and but a lot of departments are. Right, there's a lot of departments that have student athletes in their classes and their departments, and they see them, every year. But they don't have 5 professors that are chosen every year to be a part of the faculty staff. I mean, honestly, we had 4 seniors, and all of them picked. I say 3 out of 4 picked Charmaine. I say you can only pick one. I mean, and so, and I say that because a lot of them think the same way. Is it just that you just love being a part of athletics, or is it you love being a part of the students? I mean, because other departments have the same opportunities you do, but they're not as invested in the athletics program. What do you think that is? Why is that?
That's a really nice and interesting question, so I appreciate your throwing that one at me. I think I think that I think this is true across campus, but I think when your degree is communication and you can do so many things, sometimes people just get overwhelmed by that. And I think our investment is in success. We want our folks to graduate. We want them to make a difference in their communities, to have good jobs, to be happy in their family life. And so we want to be good role models. And I just really enjoy working with young people.
Well, I'll segue off that response as well. They see you at the games, and when you're at the games, they know you care. And when they see, Dr. Webb and Dr. Triana, and I don't want to leave anybody else out, but when they see them at the games, they're like, hey, these people care. So
I think it's a good way for them to see you in a different light, and I think it's also a good way for probably you to see them in a different light. And it kind of goes back to being in the classroom, kind of being able to take two things. My team's the same way. They talk often about you being there and what happens in class. So I think it's a good combination.
I've got a question for you. I'm a communications minor. I don't know if you know that. I was one of my favorite classes that I had in college was advanced public speaking.
Oh my gosh.
And they say I'm pretty good at that. I've had a lot of opportunities but anyhow, I remember a thing we did in class. I want to ask you if you ever done this in class.
Okay.
Again, this was advanced public speaking.
Okay.
And what they did is they paired you up with another student in the class, and you got up on each side of the room at the front, and both of you spoke at the exact same time, and you got to pick your topic. Now mine was, I remember like it was yesterday, mine was hitting the baseball. Okay. Well, I went up. He paired me against a guy that was going to be a preacher.
Oh my goodness.
So, this guy had to be a pretty good speaker. And what happened, the class had a pen and piece of paper, and every time they were going this way or then they'd come back, who they were listening, who they were focused to. And then she would take up the papers and see which one. I blew his tail away. I want you to know. I blew
of course
him
you did.
away. But it was fun, and I remember that. I wonder if you ever done anything like that in class?
Never.
Y'all try that. It was really, really fun.
Guest professor.
There you go.
Guest
There you
professor.
go.
Let them go against me. It was really fun, though. And
Now
it
that
was
wouldn't
kinda,
be fair.
it was
Let them
kinda-
go against you.
It was kind of interesting to see how, you know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
It was really interesting.
I've never seen it or heard of somebody doing it.
I took communications classes too. I haven't heard that one, but hey, there's a first
Hey,
for everything.
Yeah, yeah.
Something different.
I thought you were going to say you debated, not that you both spoke at the same time.
No,
He
you
would've
just
crushed
had a
that,
piece
too.
of paper
He
and
would've
went
crushed
back
Oh
and
yeah,
forth.
It
yeah.
wouldn't have mattered.
It was
Yeah.
good. It was fun. I loved that class. I
Yeah.
did. I loved
Anything
that
that
class.
requires talking, right?
Oh, it's perfect
Anything.
for me. Perfect.
The irony for me, Kenny, is that I think my first comm class was public speaking, and I hated it.
You did?
Yes.
I love public speaking.
Yeah, I love it now. I haven't taught it for a while, but I do love being out there and talking to people. And teaching it is cool because people grow so much in that class. But it was not a class I enjoyed.
If you can speak, you always have a chance to progress in life.
Yeah.
I know
fully
you're going to say
believe
it's a
that.
little bit of both. I know you're going to say it's a little bit of both, but do you think you're more born with it, or is it something that's acquired? If you had to lean one way or the other.
Well, if I'm going to lean, I'm always going to say it's acquired because it's what we teach.
Right.
But there's absolutely no doubt that some people have figured a lot of things out before without instruction and can be great speakers. But you can also see people go from short story. I had a student many years ago who came to my class and she said, I can't do anything until I figure out how to give speeches because for my entire college career, I look at the syllabus. If you have to give a speech, I drop the class. And she said, there's nothing left for me to take. I'm not going to be able to get my degree unless I figure out how to do this. That's how frightened she was of public speaking. She ended that class at the top of the class. She was fantastic. So I absolutely believe everybody can learn.
Yeah.
But some people have more of a knack and instinct and pizzazz. little better able to read the audience.
Right.
Yeah, you know, there's Kenny.
I can tear them up, I can tell you.
Yeah.
Is there a humble class? Do y'all teach like humble 101? No?
You know,
Special topics
Really?
opportunity.
this thing's going in and out. What I like about it really is just watching people. That's what's fun, watching people when you speak.
Yeah.
It's really fun.
Yeah. Yeah. And seeing the audience, you know, that's what you're talking about, seeing the audience reaction.
That's what I like about it.
Yeah.
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 Well, thank you so much, Dr. Wilson, for joining us for the discussion. And I think I speak for everybody when I say we'd love it if you'd stick around for the rest of our little discussion here today.
Yes,
That would be so
absolutely.
fun. Thank
Awesome.
you for having me.
Absolutely. And so we're going to talk now about some inside USC Aiken things. Specifically, we're going to talk about homecoming. So I want to ask each of the coaches, how was it for you guys to see some of your former athletes come back, and how much did you enjoy all the festivities this weekend?
Well, I think the cool part is we had a great crowd on Saturday and a lot of buzz going on campus. With homecoming and admissions having an event. So I think anytime you can bring more people on campus and have more activities going, I just think it's fun. For me, I haven't been here long. I've met some people, but I don't really know a lot of the people that come back. So I'm trying to learn them. So that's really cool. So. I think it's a cool thing. I'm sure, Coach Thomas, who's been here 30 years, and, all his guys coming back. We had the Hall of Fame banquet on Friday. I had a really good time with that. And, so I think it's a fun weekend. I think it's a really cool weekend and, kind of something I look forward to.
How about you, Coach Vanderslice?
Yeah,
Did you enjoy homecoming?
I'm in the same boat. I mean, I've only been here for 3 years, so I don't really have the opportunity to receive a lot of former student athletes that I would know that come back. But there was a lot of them that came up and introduced themselves and talked about future alumni opportunities. But the atmosphere and the environment is phenomenal. I think we had 1,900 to 2,000 fans at the games, and so you could hear some of the frats doing, I don't know what the name of it. They're doing chants or whatever up there. Their frat stuff. But I thought that was pretty cool. How everybody was just involved, and it's a great opportunity to have everybody come back home.
How about you, Coach Thomas? Did you get to see any old players?
I did this weekend, but I see a lot of them every weekend. There's a lot of former players that come to the weekend games, especially, and they have their little place they hang out. And it was funny. I got a text message after the game on Sunday. I didn't read it, obviously, before the game, but the people running the gate sent me a text message. Former players get in free, and I said, it's a little late, but it don't matter to me. But we get a lot of former guys, a lot of players come and watch us play. So I don't really get to participate much in homecoming. We're always playing the whole weekend, and I got a lot on my mind. And Saturday night I was on suicide watch, so I really didn't have much time to think about what was going on, but
That was you on the bridge?
that was me.
I didn't know that was you.
That was me. That was me. But we did see it. I think some guys. It worked out pretty good this year because we played at 2:00. We were finished by 5. Thank goodness. And then that left them time to go on to the basketball game. So it worked out pretty good, and that's what it usually is. We're usually at home on that weekend, but I'm usually really busy.
And how about you, Dr. Wilson? Did you have fun this weekend?
I had a great time. And another thing I like about it is when it's homecoming, the student turnout is better because they're doing other stuff, and they had giveaways, I think, in the homecoming court. And I enjoy seeing our students be there cheering for our folks. So that was a lot of fun.
Awesome. And so we're going to move a little bit forward now, and we're going to go ahead and start our our Getting Personal segment, getting a little bit ahead of myself there. I'm really excited about that one. So, as always, each coach has about 90 seconds to give us a little bit of a personal update on themselves and let us know where they are. So, Coach Miller, how are you doing today?
Well, we're trying to finish out the last 2 games, working hard with our team, getting ready to put our schedule together to go do some recruiting, and then for me and my kids, my son Tyler's a senior. Baseball season for him is right around the corner. He's about ready to get started with that. My daughter's a freshman, Hallie, and softball's right there with them. So our season gets done. Recruiting is here and there, and then I get to go watch my own kids play. So I enjoy that. I'm looking forward to that. So it's a good time for my wife and I.
That's awesome. Coach Vanderslice, how about you? How are you doing?
Well, the truth of the matter is I've never really been guilty of being well-rounded. My job is my hobby is my job. And so when you're at the tail end of the year, this is playoff time. And so we're in a position where I've got tunnel vision. I'm focused, completely and entirely on what we got to do to finish on a strong note. I think the personal life will probably, get a little bit more family-oriented once the season's over. But right now, I've got 12 kids in the locker room. We're making sure we're ready.
Conference
Yes, sir.
tournament, NCAA tournament.
All of it, yep.
That's your 90 seconds of what you're up.
That's right. You said personal life. That's my personal
that's
life
it.
right
90
now.
seconds,
You know
that's
what
it.
I mean?
That's what you got
When you're
for
going back and you're watching
next
film,
3
and you wake
weeks.
up and you're watching film. That's
3 or 4
personal
weeks,
life.
Coach. Keep it going.
All right. And so how about you, Coach Thomas? How are you doing today?
Well, I mean, obviously this time of year, somebody asked me one time, and it was in the middle of summer. They said, how you enjoying the off season? I said, I've been trying to find an off season for 30 years. I haven't found one yet. But this time of year is the happy time with my wife. She loves baseball. She's passionate. If you see her at the games, you know what I'm talking about. She's very passionate about the game, and this is her favorite time of year. So it's her happy time. I know I've said so many times, and I remember I took a lot of ribbon over this one time. I said it in the paper, I said, I need my wife here when we win to have somebody to celebrate with. Yeah. I need my wife here when we lose because I have to have somebody that will sit there and listen while I vent. And this is her happy time. So I have to be careful. I get home Saturday night, I'm very upset. But again, she knows me and knows how to handle it, and she's been my supporter for so long that, without her, I don't know how I would have ever made it 30 years in college baseball. But it is our happy time, and we both love this time of year, and, it's stressful, but it's fun too. And the other thing about this time of year is those old retired guys that sit up there on the 20th row behind home plate, best umpires from the 20th row you've ever seen. Those guys have a gathering, and we've started gathering on Friday down there where we all eat.
The Liars Table.
Table.
The
We sit at the Liars Table. So this Friday, because we don't play till 7 o'clock, I'll get to spend a little more time with them. The last 2 Fridays, I've had to rush in at 11 o'clock and be out by 12. So I didn't get to hear all the lies or tell very many. So this Friday, because we don't play till 7, I'll get to really get involved in the Liars Table down here.
And he doesn't tell you, but you got to be invited to the Liars Table.
You got to be good at lying.
These guys
you
get
have
you got
to
to
be
be good
invited.
at lying.
My first time, I sat away from the table, and then week number 2, I was made to come to the table. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but I had to come to the table in week number 2, and Coach Vanderslice same way. I think he was first week. You were there. First week, is that right?
Yeah,
He must have knew something that I didn't know.
No, I was there, but exaggeration is just not in my handbook, and I think you learn that in advanced communications class.
He jumped right in. He was perfect at the Liars Table.
No, I just listen. Sometimes you got to sit back and you just got to listen and just soak it all in.
It's quite comical, I can tell you.
It is.
It's quite
It's
fun.
fun.
The
It's a
Liars
fun
Table.
day.
We have a good time. And you know what, guys, when it's all over in May or June, whenever it ends, we're going to really have us a good hour's Liars Table down there on Fridays.
When the sun is out, baby.
Oh, yeah, we're going to have some good Liars Tables. And eat a fried honey bun while we're doing it.
Is that 90 seconds?
Mine was. I don't know about you.
Sure.
Times 4.
All right, so now we're going to go ahead and move on to the thing that I've been looking forward to the most since I saw the script last week, is our special debate topic this week. We don't have any sports, centered things to talk about. We're going to talk about the best sports movie of all time.
Well, I have 2. I'm going to give you my 2, and I think
That's
Coach
fine.
Vanderslice,
You already know.
at least one is the same.
You're a basketball coach. You already know.
Right, we're going to take Hoosiers
There
as
you go.
being the top. Now, I'm a baseball guy, too, and that's my second favorite sport. And my baseball one is For the Love of the Game.
Okay.
Kevin Costner. Just a great movie. And I think if you're an athlete, whether you're 10 or whether you're 40, you need to watch For the Love of the Game because I think it's that important. That's my two.
Well, my two are, Mama said that Hoosiers is number one, and Mama said Waterboy is number two.
Waterboy is number two.
So
Those
are my two. Huh?
What's number two?
Waterboy. Mama said? Come on, guys.
That's not a sports
It's
movie.
a sports, is it not? Maybe.
That is not a sports movie.
In the same way that Die Hard is a Christmas movie.
And Dodgeball is a sport movie. Like Dodgeball's not a sport movie either.
Come
It is
on.
not.
Dodgeball.
Well, I'm sticking with Hoosiers.
Dodgeball, like it's a sport movie.
Dodgeball.
Somebody bring that up.
Well, then
Brett,
you know
was
what?
that you?
You know what? I'm gonna. If this is a sport, yeah, it's got to be a sport. I love searching for Bobby Fischer. Is that a sport?
I think so.
Chess? Maybe. All right. I'm just trying to branch off. I don't want to just.
No,
Hoosiers is number one, though. That's number one.
Okay,
Hoosiers is
we
number
can
one.
still sit beside each other.
Rudy was a good one. Rudy, I like Rudy.
Rudy.
You agree with Hoosiers?
I really liked Hoosiers. But I'm a football fan, and I can't think of the name of it. The Denzel Washington.
Remember the Titans.
yeah,
Remember the Titans.
That's a good
Oh,
movie.
I just love that movie.
That
was a
one's a
great
classic.
Why did we wait
There's
for
a
me
lot
to be
of
last?
great.
So is Major League? Is that a sports movie?
Major League?
Yeah.
I would say yes. I would say Major League is a sports movie.
That's a true story. It has to be.
Now, I said earlier that I had a bit of a sleeper pick, and since no one has said it, I think I do. Mine is Miracle.
That's not a sleeper. That's a
Who is
great
that
movie.
clapping
We've
over
talked about that the last couple weeks.
I really, really like
That's an
Miracle.
awesome
Kurt
movie.
Russell, the 1980 Olympic U.S. hockey team. Such a great story, and the movie was great. They got all the players. I believe one of the players' son actually played him in the movie. I'm not sure which one it was, but one of the players' sons actually played him in the movie.
They even made it
Well,
30 for 30 for that.
and the sad thing about that movie is Herb Brooks didn't get to see it because he passed away before it came
He
out.
did just before, I
Just
believe.
before, yep. Just before. Yep.
So we skipped me
Yeah, we did. And I'm coming back.
purposely.
We got to save the best for last.
I knew that was. I knew it's not going to be a basketball movie.
Let me tell you. Love of the Game is an outstanding movie.
Outstanding.
That's one of my four for sure. Outstanding. Field of Dreams.
Field of Dreams is a good one.
What a great movie. One that maybe none of y'all have seen, but it's me and Miss Judy,
No,
my
we've
wife's
seen it. We've
favorite
seen it.
movie, Pride of the Yankees.
Yeah, it's a great
Pride
movie.
of the Yankees.
With
Great
movie.
story.
Great movie.
Black and white movie.
Great
Yes,
movie.
I've
If
seen
you've
that
never
one.
seen it, it's really good. It's the true story of Lou
What's the
Gehrig.
lead?
Very
Pride of the
sad.
Yankees.
Very sad at the end.
But I have to say, and my players will probably tell you this, my favorite movie is 8 Seconds. I don't know if you've ever seen it.
I have.
with,
Good
the
movie.
90210 guy.
That doesn't surprise me.
Lane Frost, the movie about the bull rider, true story about the bull rider Lane Frost. It's a tremendous movie. I probably have seen it 201 times, maybe. I don't know.
You are a movie buff.
We used to watch it on the bus every time we pulled out. Then we'd put Andy Griffith on after that. But I love that. Is a great movie. The eight
movie.
seconds. 8 seconds.
Now that's a sleeper movie. That
Yeah.
comes out of nowhere. But that is a good movie.
Good movie. Very
Really
good.
good movie.
And one thing that surprised me, nobody said Rookie of the Year. I really like that one.
The Rookie.
The
Rookie, the
but not
left-handed
Rookie of the
pitcher.
Year.
True story. Rookie.
Rookie of the Year. Who's in that?
Rookie of the Year was the one about the kid who was the pitcher for the Chicago Cubs. It's not a true story, obviously.
that's not
It's a good movie.
That's not a sports movie.
It's a
That's
good
kind of
movie.
like
That is a
dodgeball.
classic
The kid that had like the little ache in his
Yeah.
arm and he threw 130 miles an hour?
Yeah.
Oh, come on. Get out of
Rookie.
here.
The Rookie.
If
was
Waterboy is
If
not
Waterboy is a sports movie, Rookie of the Year has to be a sports
We'll
movie.
give you that.
Oh, Coach, they just.
Rookie.
Coach.
Rookie.
Rookie is a good
What
one
was
as
the
well.
guy's name? I can't remember his name. He was a high school baseball coach.
Yeah. That
He
was
ended up in the big leagues.
what was his name?
His players talked
that's a
him
good
into
movie.
going trying out for the Tampa Bay Rays, and he ends up making the team, goes to Double-A, ends up that summer going pitching in the big leagues. Great story.
You ever seen Draft
True
Day?
story. Yes,
That's a good one.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
I've
good
seen
too.
that one.
Yeah, that's good.
8 seconds. You need to watch
I've
it.
seen it.
You've
I've
never
seen
seen
bits and
8
pieces of
seconds?
it. No,
Oh,
not
you
all the
gotta
way
watch it.
through.
That's
Not
a
all
good
the way
movie.
through.
Great
It's a
movie.
tearjerker right at the end, right?
Yeah, great movie.
This was a fun topic. I like this.
I really
Sports
enjoyed
movies?
this one. And I've submitted.
That's a good question. So whoever put that together, that's a good question.
That is a good one.
A little
And
debatable. Yeah, that's good.
Brent
We
Hager,
like
of
that.
course. And I've actually submitted one for next week. I'm not sure, or next episode. I'm not sure if they're going to do it yet, but I think they should. And I can't tell you here, obviously, but
Okay.
it
All right.
should be an exciting one.
I got a sleeper one for you because I love my sports movies too. You ever seen Vision Quest?
Oh man,
Right?
great story.
Right?
Great
Never
story.
seen that one.
Yeah, the
Wrestling movie.
Yeah.
Man, great,
Wrestling?
great show.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah.
Wrestling.
Okay.
Yeah, it's-
WWF.
Anything that gives you like goosebumps at the end,
Yeah,
it's got to be a good.
That's a good
Absolutely.
movie.
Yeah.
Cold
By
Stone.
definition.
Cold Stone. he
No,
was-
Stone
it's
Cold?
Matt.
Yeah, I forget his
Not
name.
McConaughey, but
Damon?
Is it the WWF?
He was the.
Hey, hey, did
High school wrestling.
Did anybody see my former player Saturday night, Bo Hill? You remember Bo Hill? He pitched for me a few years ago, has an insurance agency here
yeah,
in town
yeah.
now. Bo Hill, great guy. He fought a real boxing match in North Carolina Saturday night. Kevin Kister rented a private jet and took all these guys, Jason Rayburn, Rakesh, all them guys that are friends, went up there. There's a video. You can watch it. He actually, Bo Hill fought and won a 3-round decision. 40,000 pay-per-view. Now, he wasn't the only fighter. There was like 10 fights. But he fought Bo Hill, believe it or not, Bo Hill. And he won.
You just got me pumped up because
He wore American flag shirt. It's crazy.
I just remembered one of my other favorite sports. I'm not talking about sports movies. Warrior.
Warrior is a great one.
Have you
Tom
seen that?
Hardy and
Yes.
who's
That's
the other
not
guy?
a
that was-
that's not a sports movie.
The MMA?
What is it?
That is
it's-
not
it-
a sport.
It's mixed martial arts.
Yeah, mixed martial arts.
It's
that's
Tom.
sports.
Oh,
That's a
absolutely.
That's a great one.
Absolutely.
Oh man, I'm telling you,
Southpaw.
goosebumps everywhere.
Southpaw's good.
See, Southpaw's
Southpaw's good.
That was
Warrior.
a really
What
good
about
one.
the Eagles? What about my movie I told y'all the other day?
Invincible, I believe, is the name of that one.
That was all right.
And I told you because of Invincible what was going to happen. The Eagles would win.
We got to go back to them. Got to go back.
Gotta
to
go back to that.
Gotta go back to
Nobody-
the Eagles.
Just make sure next year he doesn't win anything, would you?
They rolled the tape back last time.
Roll
to
the
show-
tape. I picked it. I'm the only one.
It will do a dream sequence. There'll be
Only
pink
one.
clouds around it. It'll be nice.
I picked the national champion too, Alabama. I'm the
No,
only
you did.
one.
You picked that one. Yeah,
Roll
you're
the
off
tape.
on that one.
Roll the tape back. Roll the tape.
All right. So that was really fun, and it was everything that I hoped it would be. So I'm
Thank
glad
you.
you guys enjoyed it, and hopefully we'll have just as much fun next episode with our Outside of USC Aiken segment. But for now, we're going to go ahead and give the answer to our trivia question. We'll go ahead and repeat the question one more time. It was, which USC Aiken Student Athlete of the Week was named Athlete of the Week for the Peach Belt? And so the answer to the question was Kayla Calvert. And our winner for tonight is actually assistant softball coach Susan Hood. And so she'll win a piece of USC Aiken merchandise of her choice. And next episode, that could be you. Just come out to Mellow Mushroom, fill out one of the slips, turn it in. If you're right, you'll be entered in for a chance to win something of your own. So you can't pass up an opportunity like that. It's
No.
not every day.
No.
Very exclusive merchandise we have here.
Exclusive.
You can't get this stuff
Probably a
anywhere else.
softball shirt. That's probably what it was. Probably a softball shirt today.
A solid choice.
Let's see what we
Oh,
got.
listen.
She's got it right now.
Yeah, I believe she's
Was
already
that-
picking it out.
She's a lady.
variety
It'll take her a few minutes. She has to shop.
Let's see it. What you got?
She took the hat.
Softball shirt.
We don't know what she's going to get just yet, but
Probably a baseball shirt.
She took the hat.
well, coaches, if there's nothing else for you guys, Dr. Wilson, if you don't have anything else, I believe we're going to go ahead and wrap it up for the evening. Thank you guys for joining me as always. Thank you to Mellow Mushroom for allowing us to be on location here once again. And we'll see you guys on March 5th at 7 p.m. back here once again, filming Pacer Sports Live. Until then, thank you and have a good night.